Good afternoon all. So this battery is essentially built, all the connections are on and the active balancer is on the top and it's working. So the first thing I thought I'd do before I attach the new BMS with this flying lead, I actually took this off the old BMS because the connector's the same. Saved myself having to do all that soldering again. These will be connected onto more of these little 3mm holes on the connector boards. Yeah, before I attach that is just run across with a DMM and measure all the cell voltages to see whether this thing is balancing them all and making them all the same. Let's do that now. Right, here we go. This is going to be quite a long shot. So this is most negative end, I believe. That's not on 10 amps, which is good. Let's check that. First cell, 3.270. Next cell, 3.270. Next cell. And remember, these are essentially groups of 4 cells in parallel. 3.271. Next one, 3.270. Now that's 1 millivolt of difference. That's pretty impressive. 3.271, 3.270. The meter seems to be quicker to settle in negative voltages than in positive. What's that all about? Can you see that? No, you can't. 3.271. Let's come in from a different angle. And the final cell, 3.270. So yes, they're all within 1 millivolt of each other. I think this balancing board is still working and doing a very good job. Now I've been doing some soldering this morning, so I've soldered on. This was a yellow ring terminal, which is about the right size to go onto one of these nuts here. I think that's about the right size. So that's my pack negative. Then battery negative goes into an XT90. The negative side, I hope. Yes, that's the negative side. Then on the positive side, I've got a fuse holder in there. If I can get it out, there's a 30 amp automotive fuse, which will do for now. And then there's another, this was a yellow again, crimp terminal, which I've soldered, which will go on to the most positive end, one of these nuts over here somewhere. So let's get that all on so that my new BMS, this is the 40 amp discharge and 20 amp charge BMS. I think this Chinese writing here says with balancing, but the balancing in these BMSs is so puny, it's like 20 milliamps or something. It's not worth worrying about. The active flying capacitors balancer on the top does a much better job. I'll get some more nuts and bolts, put all these on points on here, and let's get this connected up, ready to take out to the shed. Not very good lighting today because the sun's gone in. It was out this morning, it was quite nice. That's strobing, isn't it? Why is that? That's probably because the lamp on dim is pulse width modulating. Let's put it on full brightness. That's better, that's not strobing. Right, so I want this sat down around there. So I'm going to bend this. This is this super flexible wire. Bend that back and attach it to the most negative point, which is here. So one of these bolts, I'll attach that on. I'll do that first. Right, so that wire's attached onto the first set of boards. This is the most negative point here. I could have put it out there, but there's no point. When I carry this out to the shed, this will have to sort of dangle down beneath the battery. So that would be fine. The XT90 needs to sit on the bench like that. This, now there's nothing connected to that, so I can attach this with no worry. This should attach over here somewhere, so let's do that next. Then I'll disconnect this 9-way connector and bolt all the balance wires on. Now what I should do with this balance cable is I should cut all these so that they're different lengths, so that I can come up from this side and then run across and attach to all these connection points. but I can't be bothered just at the moment, so I think I'll just use it as it is, and it won't be neat. But actually I've got another one of these, because of course I've got the one that came with the BMS, so perhaps I'll work on that one sort of over time. I just want to get this done at the moment, get it out to the shed. So let's get this just attached, and it won't be terribly neat. Right, all these cables are on for the BMS. Always a bit nervous at this point, plugging this in. Actually, I'm just going to check before I do that whether there's 24 volts on here. Oh, there is, which is interesting. So how does that manage to conduct if it's actually not getting any power? That's interesting. How does that work? I'll have to have a think about that. Well, now it's not conducting. If I put that in there, no conduction through the BMS. So is there some residual voltage on these pins? I don't know, but I'm going to plug it in now with all the different voltages on it, live on camera. Scary. Okay, well, it doesn't seem to have blown up. Check this again. That should be conducting at this point, and it does. Yeah, so my light bulb comes on, 24 volts to the light bulb. So that all looks good. I think this is now ready to go out into the shed. I haven't got a third balance lead on with the standard JST 0.1 inch pitch, XH I think it's called, isn't it, for my little battery monitor, but that's not essential. I can add that later. Just want to get this in the shed, hooked up to solar. Okay, there's not much sun today. Get it charging, and get the solar crypto accumulation machine back in service. Let's take it out to the shed. So let's take a look at it in situ. Here it is, looking good. Oh, I'm blocking the light. Yeah, so there's the battery pack, active balancer at the top, BMS here. I've repositioned one of these wires to act as a sort of cable retainer. Fuse there, 30 amp fuse in there. It's all hooked up. The bulb is back in circuit. Now this is all fine, but I'm a bit concerned about all this water. There's a lot of water on the desk here. You can see quite a lot of it here, actual drops of water. There's water been dripping down on my LED supercomputer there, and it's coming from the ceiling. So you can see up here there's a lot of droplets of water, and I don't think the shed's leaking. I don't think it's that. There is a lot of moisture here though. I think it's condensation, because if you look at these two bottles of glue here, try and get close, you can see there's condensation on here up to this point, and that's where the glue in this bottle, that's the level of the glue. Up above that, this is dry. Down below, this is all wet. So I think it is just the amount of moisture in the air, and there is a lot. And then of course it freezes, because we're getting temperatures just below freezing overnight, and that's resulting in it then thawing out during the day. It freezes on the undersurface of the ceiling. That creates little icicles, and then it thaws out during the day and drips down onto my bench. It's not so bad over this side. Oh, it's too dark to see that. Is that really so dark? Yeah, let's turn this lamp round. Round you go. Yes, it's not so bad on the vocoder side, but I think that's because that's on the south side of the shed, and so it gets the what sun there is on this side of the shed, but there's no water over here. No, the water is on the north side of the shed, which of course doesn't get dried out quite so much, and of course it gets colder on the north side of the shed. The only thing I'm thinking is if this is water that has frozen and then evaporated. No, it hasn't evaporated though, has it? No, so I was thinking it might be deionized water, but it's water that's in the air, then it freezes, then it melts again, No, it probably isn't deionized. So this probably could, I mean, there's even water on this relay here. Don't know if my camera will focus close enough. I noticed little droplets of water on the top of there. I'm not sure if I can see them at the moment. But yeah, water's got onto that circuitry, which is not good. But anyway, I need to figure something out. Perhaps some sort of cloths or sponges, which I'll just rig up on this ceiling to catch the major drips. And the problem is these drips go all brown and yucky. That one's a bit brown there because of the bitumen in these roofing panels. But anyway, that's not electronics. So back to this. There's the battery. It is now charging from solar, although there isn't much sun. Let's see what we're getting. We're getting 290 milliamps coming in from the big solar panel. So this is charging very slowly, 26.5 volts. When that gets up to I think 29 volts, then that will trigger another mining cycle. So I'll keep an eye on it, and of course the pro hashing account will keep a record of all the mining cycles. But yeah, this should take over from the bicycle battery, and this should have longer mining runs, so we should see higher amounts of crypto entering the crypto account. But anyway, that's it for the moment. That's in situ. That will gradually charge up, and at some point it will trigger another crypto mining run. So for the moment, cheerio.